Everybody, Mega Ruler 31 back here for FSI DFS. Just going to do a quick baseball video for you for Saturday. I know so many other things are going on. If you're still grinding out baseball, I just want to give you a little bit of help here because I know college football and pumpkin patches, and there's two NASCAR races, and EPL's back, and preparing for NFL tomorrow. So much other things going on. But thank you for still watching here. Not going to cover the early slate because two of the games potentially rained out. There's really nobody playing for anything besides Philly and Washington. That's one of the ones that might get rained out. And there's a 3 game gap or 3 hour gap between the first games and like the games at 4 o'clock. We might not have all the lines. So if you really, really want to play, put a comment below. And if I see it, then, and some people are interested, I'll maybe give you a quick, cash line, but it's hard to really play cash at this point. So if you're looking for like, a couple pitchers that I like and some stacks that I like, just again, throw in the comments, hit me up at Twitter, Megaruler31, and I'll get you the help there. We're not going to do a Sunday video either. Same thing. You need help, hit me up at Megaruler31 on Twitter, or throw a comment down here and come back to the video. And actually, if you put the comment, it usually goes to your email when we answer. So you'll know that you'll get the information if you're looking to play tomorrow's slate. But we figure with NFL and like everything else that's going on, most people probably aren't grinding out on a Sunday either. And the contests are getting smaller. So completely understand. Just still appreciate you watching this one. So Saturday main slate. Let's look at this quickly here. So I believe we have a 7 game one that starts at 7:10. So DK is not including the second half of the doubleheader between Philly and Washington. Looks like the first half is going to get rained out. So who knows when they start this second game and if they even get 2 in. So it is probably a smart idea for them. First, we got Miami and the Brewers. The Brewers are still in it. National League, they are still fighting. They're half game out of the wild card from Philly, and they're not too far. It's only like a 1.5 game lead for San Diego over them. So all 3 teams are still fighting here in play. So you have Cabrera, and I've seen Ashley, I've seen Peralta. Both of them are not good. The Marlins aren't good either, so it's a good matchup. And I think it might be do or die for them if they're trying to make the postseason like rotation and actually get some play. But Ashley's been absolutely horrible recently, and Peralta has not been much better. So not interested in either one of those, or Cabrera, who had a good streak, but now recently he's gone like 5 innings, giving up 3 runs and only getting about a couple Ks. So I think really like Milwaukee as a stack against them, and I think I like Miami as a stack to achieve my favorite cheap one here. Pirates in St. Louis Cardinals. Wind's actually blowing in here 8 miles per hour, should help pitchers, but I'm still not going to play Ortiz here. St. Louis is like pretty tuned up. They're still playing, even though they have nothing really to play for. They're still going out there and trying to get reps in and treat it as a tune up in practice. Jordan Montgomery, I think, will go out there and again, he's like kind of, I think it was Lovie Smith after a Monday night game against Tampa Bay or somebody. I think it was Bears coach or maybe Arizona. I don't remember, but it was in the 2000s. And he said, they are who we thought they were. And we let him off the hook. And I think that's what Jordan Montgomery is, because Jordan Montgomery was average to the Yankees, had some struggles, got traded. All of a sudden, it looks like this great pitcher, has a couple like rough games, comes back again, but then like recent form hasn't been great, but hopefully it's trending upward because they're probably going to need him if they want to make a deep playoff run. So I think this is a good chance to go out in a good matchup and try to come out as a decent pitcher and not, who we thought he potentially was, which is a mediocre pitcher. So I think I will be playing some Montgomery today and as my SP2 in some lineups. I don't think in cash, more of a GPP. And Pittsburgh, I think, just makes a leverage stack there. And St. Louis, I think, is my second favorite stack on slate, depending on what the Dodgers lineup looks like. Mets and Braves, a wind is blowing out here 14 miles per hour. I thought this would be affected by the hurricane, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any rain. So I think they're in the clear. I think everything's moved past them besides just some windy conditions. So Max Scherzer's on the mound there. I think he's your SP1. I think he'll go as long as he needs to. This is a playoff game. He needs to go out there and have a strong performance, and I think he can do just that. Kyle Wright on the other side has been up and down for the season. Mets are a tough matchup, don't strike out much, are very patient at the plate, so I'm not too keen on playing him either, especially with the wind blowing out. The Mets, I think, would just make a GPP stack, and the Braves would be the number one leverage stack against Max Scherzer. Might be a great time to stack them in a YOLO GPP, because if Scherzer struggles or something and they go off and take advantage of the wind, then you're off to the races, because they probably will have low ownership because everybody will probably be playing Max as their pitcher. Tampa Bay and Houston, Shane McClanahan and Javier. McClanahan's been decent coming back from his injury, but still, like, if Houston throws out their full lineup here, he had a lot of righty power against him. But if they like rest Altuve, and there's a couple of big bats out of the lineup, they lost a couple games in a row. They really don't care, nothing to play for. Just continue to go through the motions, finish out the season, get ready for the playoffs. And they have a first round bye also, because they're the top seed in the American League. So Javier, I think, will go out there long enough to be decent. Tampa Bay still has a lot to play for too. Toronto's only 2 games up on them for the top wild card spot, which would give them like a home field advantage in the game. And I think they really want that. I don't know if they necessarily want to play Toronto. I think, but I think, Cleveland would be the other option. So I think either matchup is going to be a tough one for Tampa Bay, but I think they'd rather have it at home. So there isn't some incentive for them to play here. So I think the stack is just a leverage stack against Javier, but maybe they give him 5 innings, but he's been solid recently. Like, I've seen him not take his foot off the gas. So I'm okay with playing Javier in cash or GPPs. McClanahan, I think, is more of a GPP guy. I mean, the strikeouts are definitely could be there. He still doesn't strike out much, but is a strikeout pitcher. For bats, Tampa Bay just be a leverage stack. And then Houston, I think, would be a GPP, but depends on the line. Or actually, I think you can play him in cash if you want to, but just make sure the full lineup's out there. And I'd take the righties and Alvarez. Maybe not Tucker or some of the lefties if there are any in the lineup. White Sox in the Padres here. Cisse and Clevenger. Cisse is just really slowed down. 10K. I'm not playing that much for him. I still have him in the high one, but I think he's a fade here pretty much for me. Clevenger, same thing. He's really struggled. I think you can maybe try him in GPPs at 5.9 as an SP2, but the White Sox they're trying to get some young guys in. They shut some guys down for the season, so they're not as scary. But Clevenger struggled too. But again, this is the same thing as Milwaukee pitchers. You really need to get this right if you want to be part of our postseason plan. Plus, the Padres need to keep their foot on the gas also, because if they don't, then it's like they could be caught and fall out of the playoffs. Like, they're in the catbird seat right now, but it would, like, I think 5 or 6 games to go, there is possibility that if they lose all their games and Philadelphia and Milwaukee win out, that they could be on the outside looking in. So San Diego, like, as a GPP stack. The White Sox, I think, are just like a cheap leverage stack against Clevenger. Rangers and Angels, nothing really to play for here. Suarez and Reagan's, not playing Reagan's. Suarez has been solid recently, so it all depends on the Texas lineup. But I could take some of the Texas righties against him, definitely, and the Angels against the lefty here, definitely, like Trout and Ward and Refrino and Duffy. You can make a nice little GPP stack there. So I think they're my favorite GPP stack of the day. And then Colorado and the Dodgers. Freeland, no thank you. Michael Grove has actually been solid recently at 5.3. He's not going to go super deep, probably about 5 innings, 4 strikeouts. But he's trying to figure himself into the postseason rotation, how things are going to go. Probably going to be like a long reliever or something like that if a starter struggles. I don't see him like starting one of these playoff games, but still, he's up against Colorado's really struggling. Not much pop left in that offense. It's not a course. So Colorado just be a cheap stack if you want to throw them in. If you're 150 maxing still at this point in the season, trying to chase crowns or something, fine with that. Dodgers would be a top stack, but just depend on who they have out there. It doesn't look like they really took the foot off the gas, put up 10 runs last night. So I think it's like, we're going to go out there and continue to play baseball. And if you want to beat us, you need to beat us. We're not going to lay down for anybody. But look at some of the younger guys or the cheaper guys here too, like Taylor Thompson, like Austin Barnes, Vargas. I don't know if Yeah, so if the big guys are in there, that's fine. You can play them if not. So looking at the lineup builds here, I've got Max as my top pitcher, followed by Grove. I think at 5'3", he'll do enough there to be a great SP2. Then give me like Will Smith, stacking Milwaukee here, Tellis, Wong, Adames, Betts, Trout, Yelich in the outfield, and fill in with the rest with Milwaukee or Dodgers. FanDuel, give me Max, Telix, Wong. I'm going St. Louis. You can get a full Milwaukee, St. Louis stack in here with Max. Just do that. GPP, Javier, and Montgomery. I'm going Marlins and St. Louis. So put the full St. Louis stack in, fill in with Marlins. It works nicely. And then finally, GPP FanDuel, Javier. I'm going to take the high right-handers of the Dodgers. I'm going to take Trout with them. And then you can fill in with Angels or Marlins. It works pretty nice there. So again, I'm going to go with third one. Hit me up at Twitter if you have any more questions or leave a comment below. Remember, no Sunday videos. So drop it down. A comment there if you need help on that. We'll see you again on Monday for the final 3 games of the season. We'll try to get videos out for each one of those. And remember, we got NASCAR this week, EPL videos out there. We'll have NFL content. So many things. So check out the channel. Like the video if it helps you. Share it to friends. Subscribe to our channel so you know when all the videos are coming out. And I'll see you next time. Have a safe weekend.